Hello everyone and welcome to the first lesson of our IELTS Writing Task 1 course. Okay. Now in this first lesson, obviously I'm going to just tell you a little bit about the IELTS writing task and then I'm going to show you some examples of what you will see in your IELTS exam. Okay. So you're taking IELTS because you need to get an IELTS score to go to university, and part of getting a good IELTS score is being able to write essays clearly, correctly. Okay? In this course we're going to look at one type of IELTS writing task 1 question in which you have to describe graphs, charts and tables. So this writing task 1 is really a descriptive task. Okay? You're describing something. Okay? And you have to write 150 words to describe what you can see in a diagram. Okay? Now this diagram could be absolutely anything. In this course I'm only going to focus on a few different types of diagrams. Okay? Graphs, charts and tables. In your exam you have 20 minutes to write this task. Okay? So through this course I'm going to explain to you the vocabulary, the grammar and the other skills you need to be able to write your essay in the correct time using only around 150 words. The first thing we've got to look at for the graphs, charts and tables is the type of diagrams that you're going to see when you open your IELTS test book. Okay? You might be already familiar with this, but for those of you who are not, I want to show you examples of what you will see. Okay? So, first of all, this is one example of what you might see in your IELTS test. It is a line graph. Okay? A line graph. Now, if you look at this line graph, this is a very, very simple line graph. You can see the green line going through the graph. Okay? Now, it's the green line that you want to describe to the examiner, okay, to write your essay. You need to write an essay which shows what is happening to the green line. In this graph that you can see in front of you, this green line is very, very simple. Okay? It just moves from the lowest point to the highest point. Okay? In IELTS, your graphs are going to be slightly more complicated than this. Okay? But this is what I want to show you, a very simple example of a line graph. Okay? Another type of question you might have to describe is in a bar graph, information which is presented in a bar graph. Okay? And this is an example of a bar. You can see 5 different bars in this graph. In this particular one you can also see that there are 2 colours in the graph. Okay? And the 2 colours will explain to you how 2 different things are changing, okay? Or the statistical information for 2 different things. You might be measuring men or women and changes, or percentages for these men and women in a particular area, okay? So this is an example of a bar graph. Okay, so hopefully when you come to write your IELTS or do your IELTS test, you will be familiar with what it looks like. Okay, another type of graph is, specifically we call this one a chart, and it's a pie chart. I mean, look at it. It looks like a pie, it looks like a cake, it's a round disc, and it's cut into different slices. Okay, each of these different slices are normally given different colours, or it could be a different pattern. In your IELTS it's black and white, so you don't have colours, but they'll differentiate each slice using different patterns, for example. Now here we can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different parts of this pie chart. And each of these parts of the pie chart shows different amounts. Specifically it's different proportions, or different fractions, or different percentages. Later in this course I'm going to show you how to describe different proportions, fractions or percentages. Okay? But this is a diagrammatical representation of these proportions in what we call a pie chart. Okay? So that's our third type of graph.